Hello, Anna. Today we're going to talk about why reading English is so important. Do you like reading in English?
To be honest, I don't read much in English. I find it boring and hard. Why should I read if I can just listen or speak?
I understand. Many students feel the same way, but reading helps you improve your English in ways that listening and speaking alone can't. For example, it helps expand your vocabulary. You'll come across new words in context, which helps you understand their meaning.
But can't I just learn new words by listening to songs or watching movies? That sounds more fun.
That's a good point. You can definitely learn words by listening, but reading helps you remember them better. When you read, you often see the same words again and again. Repetition helps move words from your short-term memory to your long-term memory.
Oh, I didn't think of that. But I still find reading slow. It takes me forever to finish even one page.
That's totally normal at first. Learning to read in another language does take time, but the more you read, the faster you'll get. And guess what? Reading can also improve your grammar.
Grammar? Oh no, I'm terrible at grammar. How can reading help me with that?
Don't worry. A lot of students struggle with grammar, but when you read, you see how sentences are constructed. You see different sentence structures and how words are used together. You get to see real examples of grammar in action.
So, reading can teach me grammar without me even realizing it?
Exactly. You won't need to study grammar rules all the time if you read a lot. You'll see how nouns, verbs, and adjectives are used naturally in sentences. Over time, your brain will start to recognize these patterns.
Wow, that sounds good. But I feel like reading is still too much work. Can I just skip it and focus on speaking?
Well, if you skip reading, you're missing an important piece of the puzzle. Learning a language is like building a house. Listening and speaking are the foundation, but reading and writing are like the walls and roof. Without them, your house isn't complete.
So, if I don't read, my English will be like a house without walls? That sounds a little dangerous.
Exactly. Without reading, you miss a lot of important things, like grammar and new vocabulary. Reading completes your learning and makes your English much stronger.
Okay, I get it. But what if I don't like reading books?
You don't have to read long books if you don't like them. You can read anything in English. It could be articles, blogs, comics, or even social media posts. The important thing is that you're reading something every day.
That sounds much easier. I thought I had to read big, boring novels. So, reading even a few pages of a blog or comic can help?
Absolutely. You don't need to read a lot to see the benefits. Even reading for just 10 or 15 minutes a day can help. The key is to make reading a habit.
Only 10 minutes? That sounds doable. But will reading help me with my writing too?
Definitely. Reading is one of the best ways to improve your writing. When you read, you learn how sentences are structured. You see how writers use punctuation and how they express ideas clearly.
So if I read more, my writing will automatically get better?
Yes, that's right. You'll start to see how to write emails, messages, and even essays. Reading gives you confidence in your writing because you see examples of good writing all the time.
Okay. But what if I don't understand some words when I'm reading? Should I look them all up in the dictionary?
That's a common question. You don't need to look up every word you don't know. If you do that, reading will feel too slow and you might lose motivation. Instead, try to guess the meaning from the context.
Guess from the context. How do I do that?
It's like being a detective. Look at the words and sentences around the word you don't know. Sometimes you can understand what the word means just by reading the whole sentence or paragraph.
Oh, like Sherlock Holmes. I can be a detective while reading.
Exactly. Be like Sherlock and use clues to figure out the meaning, and if you still can't figure it out, then you can look it up. But only after you've tried.
That sounds more fun. I'll try that next time I read. But how much should I read every day?
You don't have to read for hours. Like I said earlier, even 10 or 15 minutes a day can make a big difference. The important thing is to read consistently. The more you read, the easier it will become.
Only 10 minutes. That sounds great. But do I have to read out loud, or can I read silently?
You can do either, but reading out loud has some extra benefits. It helps you practice pronunciation and hear how words are supposed to sound. It's like getting two exercises in one.
Oh, so reading out loud can help me with my speaking too.
Exactly. When you read out loud, you practice saying the words correctly and build your speaking confidence. It helps you connect the sounds of words with their spelling.
That makes sense. But what if I feel embarrassed reading out loud?
That's normal. At first, reading out loud can feel a bit awkward, but remember, practice makes perfect. The more you do it, the more comfortable you'll feel.
Okay, I'll give it a try. But what should I read if I'm just starting out?
Great question. If you're just starting, pick something easy and interesting. You can read children's books, short stories, or even news articles written for English learners. Choose something that makes you excited to read.
I think I'd like to start with short stories. They seem fun and not too long.
That's a perfect choice. Short stories are great because they're not overwhelming, and they often have interesting plots that keep you engaged.
I like that idea. But what if I get stuck on a difficult story? Should I give up?
No, don't give up. If a story feels difficult, you can break it into smaller sections. Read a little bit each day and take your time to understand. If you need to, you can even ask a friend or teacher for help.
That's good advice. I'll try not to get frustrated. So, reading will help me in all areas of English, right?
Exactly. Reading improves your vocabulary, grammar, writing, and pronunciation. It's like a superpower for learning a language.
Wow, I didn't realize reading was so powerful. I'm going to make it part of my daily routine.
That's great to hear. Just remember, it's okay to start slow. The most important thing is to stay consistent. Keep reading a little every day and you'll see amazing progress.
I'm feeling more confident already. Thanks, teacher. I'm ready to become a reading master.
You're very welcome. You're on your way to becoming an English expert. Happy reading! If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, make sure you don't miss our next video. We have an exciting and engaging topic lined up to help you practice your listening skills. Click here to watch it and keep improving your English.